Imagine you have a car that you want to modify with high performance parts. So you decide to replace one thing at a time. So you start with one high performance part before you move on to anything else. But soon you realize that this causes an older part to wear out prematurely because it wasn't designed for the demand that's placed on it with the part that you replace with a high performance part, and it can't keep up with the greater force that's applied to it, and it needs to be replaced with another high performance part as well. Anyway, this leads to other parts wearing out, which also need to be replaced with high performance parts for the same reason. And before you know it, you end up replacing everything related to the engine. So you end up replacing everything. So this is what would happen in the event of a global reset, as in trying to cover up the history of the entire world at various points in time. Sure, Noah's flood was indeed a reset. But like I said, in Noah's flood, they had to replace the whole engine. That's the difference. They didn't just like replace a camshaft or something. They had to replace the whole engine. They wiped everything out, clean slate. That's how a real reset would have to work in a physical world. So allow me to elaborate. If you try to say, for example, that ancient Rome never existed, changing the history books would just be one part of the engine. That would lead to needing to replace other parts of the engine, like any books and media that mentioned ancient Rome. Then that would lead to needing to replace all the books and media that mentioned the previous books and media that we just got rid of. Then you'd have to either get rid of or try to make up a new story about physical things left behind, such as the archaeology of the Colosseum, etc. Then this would lead to getting rid of languages and all the languages that were affected by Latin, etc., and millions of other things that neither I nor millions of other people would even think of to get rid of because it's that complicated. So, to make a long story short, I don't think most people realize how complicated and messy it would be to completely reset the world, even once. Now, they can try to hide various details, but to claim that they reset all of history would be naive at best. So, one of the details might be like dinosaur bones or Nephilim skulls or something that the Smithsonian collected and keep out of view. Sure, that's possible. But any claims of completely rewriting history within the last 3,000 years is not taking into account how complicated this would be. It's just not realistic. So the only way this would be even remotely possible would be something like we have all been brain chipped in the matrix and all of our memories have been implanted. That way they could just, in a sense, reset the past, quote unquote, by simply implanting a different set of memories. Sure, that's possible. But or how about the other possibility would be changing timeline dimensions where residual memories might be a result of having a similar yet different dimension, right? But that wouldn't be the same thing as completely, getting a bunch of people together to get rid of archaeological evidence and rewrite history and change languages and all this other stuff. I can't even mention all the things that would be involved with that. That's how complicated it would be. I mean, can you imagine the team of people you would need to even do that? Like a gazillion people to dust rocks and dig through dirt and to physically. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So, just saying that's what my thoughts are. Just my thoughts. All right, later.